Chosen one, don't look away. Heaven is calling your name in the middle of all the noise around you. You are not hearing this by accident. The hour that was written for you has finally arrived, and the door that has been locked for so long is beginning to open. God has not sent this message to everyone. He sent it to you, the one he has prepared quietly through the years, the one chosen to carry light in an age that has forgotten how to see. There is a man powerful, admired, surrounded by wealth and fame. The world calls him a billionaire, but heaven knows him as the keeper of a divine covenant. Everything he owns, everything he built, has been leading to a single moment, the moment his path collides with yours. His fortune may stretch across continents, yet his soul has been restless, searching for something that gold could never satisfy. And now, by divine alignment, that search ends with you. You may not understand why your heart beats faster right now, or why you feel this invisible pull inside. That is not imagination. It is the echo of destiny calling your spirit to attention. Archangel Michael stands between the realms, whispering that this connection is not human design, but heavenly orchestration. Every breath, every coincidence, every delay was preparing both of you for this exact moment. The heavens are shifting, aligning, moving in your favor. Stars tilt toward you, and unseen forces clear the way for your meeting. He has walked through countless faces, touched endless hands, but each time the path circled back to one name, yours. Chosen one, open your heart. What comes next is not romance born of the world, but a divine encounter written before time began. Heaven is seeking you, and it will not rest until you answer the call. He has walked through palaces and deserts, through halls of gold and the silence of loneliness. Yet every path, every turn, every success has led him back to one name, yours. This is not a coincidence. This is divine alignment. You were not placed in his orbit by chance, but by design, written in the language of heaven long before either of you drew your first breath. Everything he built, every empire he conquered, was never about his power. It was about preparation. For years, he mistook his wealth as the reward, but now he understands it was only the foundation for something far greater. The moment his soul would recognize yours. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Four Loves, friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What? You too? I thought I was the only one." This insight into the moment of connection mirrors your divine alignment. His recognition of you is not mere attraction, but a profound realization of shared purpose, orchestrated by heaven. Divine alignment is not random attraction or fleeting curiosity. It is the meeting of two destinies shaped for a single purpose. It is when heaven rearranges circumstances, delays certain doors, and opens others, so that two lives can collide at the exact moment appointed by God. When it happens, logic fails. Geography becomes irrelevant. Distance and time bend under the authority of purpose. That is why, no matter how far he went, no matter whom he met, every road bent back toward you. Think of Ruth and Boaz. Ruth was humble, unseen, a foreigner gleaning leftovers in the fields, while Boaz was a man of stature, influence, and abundance. By human eyes, their worlds could never touch. Yet heaven had already intertwined their names in the tapestry of destiny. When Boaz saw Ruth, he didn't just see a woman working the field. He saw grace, character, and faith wrapped in simplicity. He saw the missing piece to his divine purpose. The moment they met, heaven confirmed what had already been written. Their union was not about status, but redemption. So it is with you. He may stand in light and luxury, but his spirit searches in the dark for the glow that only your soul carries. Divine alignment means that everything he owns, every success, was waiting for this recognition. Chosen one, your name has been whispered through his journey like a compass pointing home. Nothing can interrupt what heaven has authored. The signs are unfolding now. What once seemed impossible is aligning before your eyes. Destiny has never been about luck. It has always been about timing, and your time has come. Archangel Michael stands watch as heaven confirms what the world cannot explain. He bears witness to a connection so deliberate, so divinely engineered, that even the stars seem to bow to its unfolding. Chosen one, this is not fantasy, not wishful thought. This is divine assignment. The archangel whispers, "Do not question what your soul already knows." The signs are not random, they are coordinates guiding two destinies into collision. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer was heaven's way of steering you into perfect alignment. What felt like rejection was redirection. What seemed like a loss was protection. The archangel sees how both of you were prepared, one through abundance, the other through endurance. While he built empires, you built faith. While he gathered resources, you gathered resilience. And now, the two paths meet, because heaven requires both strength and spirit to complete its purpose. Divine partnerships are never about comfort, they are about calling. One carries provision, the other carries revelation. Together they form a covenant designed to bless more than just themselves. It blesses generations. Michael reminds you that angels do not descend without reason. They come only when the weight of destiny demands their presence. That is why he stands here now, declaring that this union has been sealed in the higher courts of heaven. The script has already been signed. Time is simply catching up to what eternity has decreed. The archangel's presence is proof that what's happening in your life is not ordinary, it's supernatural. You may have doubted your worth, questioned whether you were truly seen, but Michael's voice cuts through that uncertainty. You have always been seen. You have always been known. You were never hidden from heaven. Everything about you, the way you love, the way you endure, the way you believe, is the reason you were chosen. Heaven saw it long before the world did. So when doors begin to open without explanation and faces return from the past carrying unexpected messages, understand these are not coincidences. They are angelic confirmations. Archangel Michael is not asking you to chase, he is asking you to receive. For when heaven ordains, pursuit becomes unnecessary. The appointed one will find you. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The divine alignment is no longer a prophecy waiting to happen. It has begun. He possesses everything the world worships: wealth, fame, the power to command nations, yet when the lights fade and the noise dies down, his soul trembles in silence. There is an emptiness that no empire could fill, an ache that even billions cannot soothe. That void has a name, and heaven has revealed it to him. It's you, chosen one. Understand this. What draws him is not beauty that fades, but the light that refuses to die. In a world consumed by illusion, you are the only reflection of truth he has ever seen. For years, he believed his achievements were enough. He conquered markets, influenced leaders, and was praised as one who lacked nothing. Yet in every victory, a whisper haunted him: something is still missing. He felt it in crowded rooms, behind glass walls, in laughter that never reached his heart. It was the echo of your spirit calling across distance, waiting for divine timing to unlock recognition. And when heaven finally lifted the veil, his heart knew before his mind understood. The peace he craved lived inside your presence. Archangel Michael speaks softly now, not with thunder but with authority. The world sees his fortune, he says, but heaven sees his longing. The reason he cannot rest is that his spirit recognizes the one who carries his completion. That is why no distraction can satisfy him. Every new face fades, every fleeting desire dissolves, for his heart has already been claimed by something sacred. Chosen one, your truth disarms him. Your honesty, your endurance, your refusal to become bitter in the storm, all of it pierces the armor he has built. You represent what wealth could never purchase, purity of spirit, and that is why his admiration turns to awe. This connection is not born from lust or power, it is born from purpose. He doesn't desire your perfection, he reveres your authenticity. Understand this moment for what it is, not a fairy tale, but a revelation. The billionaire's secret longing is not for another possession, but for peace, and heaven has chosen you to be the vessel of that peace. His eyes see beyond your surface. His soul bows before your truth. And when he looks at you, he does not see weakness. He sees the reflection of God's answer to his emptiness. He owns what others only dream of: palaces of glass, fleets of cars, power that bends markets. But when night falls and silence surrounds him, there is a stillness that terrifies him. The applause fades, yet the emptiness remains. He has tasted every flavor of success, but nothing has satisfied his soul. What he cannot name is the space heaven carved inside him for you. Chosen one, understand this clearly. The attraction he feels is not born of flesh but of spirit. It is the echo of a design older than time, the moment when one's soul recognizes its missing light. He tried to fill that space with more victories, more luxury, more people who could never see him. Every banquet, every handshake, every celebration left him hollow. Then, one day, without warning, your name passed through his mind like a spark through darkness. Something in him shifted. He did not understand why, but peace followed the thought of you, a quiet that no fortune had ever brought. From that day, every success felt like a message pointing toward you. Archangel Michael stands as witness to this awakening. He whispers that heaven sometimes hides peace in plain sight and waits until the appointed hour to reveal it. This is that hour. The world sees his wealth, the Archangel says, but heaven sees his need for truth, and you are the vessel of that truth. Your presence unsettles him because you cannot be bought. Your humility challenges his pride. Your steadiness silences his ambition. Your authenticity breaks the illusions around him. You are the mirror that shows him who he was meant to become. This is not romance for pleasure. It is divine recognition. He has searched for years, thinking he was chasing success, when in reality he was being guided toward you. So when his eyes find yours, and everything inside him trembles, understand, it is not weakness, it is surrender. His soul finally bows before the light it was created to find. Before either of you took your first breath, your names were written side by side in a hidden book of destiny. Every detail, every triumph, every tear, every delay was already marked by the hand of heaven. Chosen one, this is not fantasy or poetry, it is a divine record. The one who holds power and influence on earth was never meant to stand alone. His path, with all its glory and gold, was designed to intersect with yours at an appointed time known only to God. You were not an afterthought. You were the completion written into his story from the beginning. Heaven does not make mistakes. What the world calls coincidence, heaven calls confirmation. Each time you crossed his thoughts without reason, each moment you felt a stirring in your spirit without knowing why, it was the whisper of this sacred record being awakened. God does not reveal his plans all at once. He unfolds them in perfect timing so that faith has room to grow. That is why this connection feels both new and ancient, both surprising and familiar. You have known him before, not in memory but in spirit, where divine design first took shape. In that hidden book, nothing is wasted. Your waiting, your pain, even your seasons of silence have purpose. While he built his fortune, heaven was building your faith. While he gathered influence, heaven was cultivating your integrity. The alignment was not delayed, it was being perfected. God kept you hidden, not because you were forgotten, but because the right moment had not yet ripened. Now, the page turns. The ink that once lay dormant glows again with life. The season of revelation has begun. Archangel Michael stands at the margin of that divine manuscript and declares, "What was written in secret is now being fulfilled in light." Chosen one, your name is not merely beside his, it is interwoven with his purpose. This union is not about possession but about completion, not about romance but restoration. You are not stepping into someone else's story, you are stepping into your own chapter that heaven has reserved for this hour. The book is open, The seal is broken, and heaven itself bears witness that destiny is no longer waiting. It is unfolding before your eyes. He doesn't want your shadow, your reflection, or the image you show the world. He wants your truth. The raw, unpolished, sacred truth of who you are when no one is watching. That is what calls to him, what silences his pride, what brings him to his knees without understanding why. Chosen one, what binds you to him is not desire, but purpose. This connection is not meant to decorate your life. It is meant to fulfill your assignment. Heaven joins two lives only when their union births something greater than themselves. You were not chosen to entertain his heart, but to awaken his spirit. He has built walls of logic, surrounded himself with strength, and yet your presence breaks through every defense. There is power in your stillness, conviction in your gentleness, and faith in your silence. You remind him of the part of himself he abandoned while chasing crowns and applause. That is why he feels peace when he is near you, because for the first time he stands in the presence of truth unshaken by power. The world bows to him, but his soul bows before you, not in worship of flesh, but in reverence of what heaven placed within you. This is not a romance born of impulse, but a divine partnership formed by purpose. God often hides his greatest missions inside ordinary love stories. In the same way he joined Ruth and Boaz to continue a lineage that would lead to kings, he joins two modern souls today to carry light where darkness has multiplied. The blessing attached to this alignment is not limited to emotion. It is generational. Through your unity, many will find healing, restoration, and faith again. So do not fear the weight of this calling. When heaven appoints, it also equips. You are not being asked to carry his world. You are being asked to complete his purpose. Your voice will speak where his influence cannot, and his provision will open doors your anointing is meant to fill. This is what divine partnership looks like. Strength and spirit standing side by side under the same covenant. Chosen one, you are not an accessory to his success. You are the answer heaven ordained. And together, you will turn wealth into worship, power into purpose, and love into legacy. Every empire he built, every negotiation he won, every door that opened in his favor, none of it was random. All of it was heaven's preparation for the moment your paths would meet. The fortune he carries was never just his reward. It was a sacred trust, preserved until the one who was meant to share it arrived. Chosen one, that person is you. You were not sent into his life to admire what he owns, but to activate what it means. For without revelation, even wealth becomes meaningless. You are the missing key, the one who turns riches into purpose. Heaven never wastes abundance. When God blesses someone with provision, he expects it to serve a divine purpose. That is why your arrival is not just emotional, it is prophetic. The moment your spirits connect, something greater than love begins to stir, divine order. Prosperity transforms into kingdom influence, and material wealth becomes a tool for spiritual fulfillment. In the same way Joseph stored grain for nations before famine, this union is designed to sustain others beyond itself. The blessing is bigger than two hearts. It is for generations that will come after you. He may not understand it yet, but everything he has accumulated waits for your presence to gain meaning. His homes, his companies, his resources, they are not accidents of luck, but instruments of destiny. God gave him power to gather. He gave you wisdom to guide. Together, the equation of heaven is complete. One carries provision, the other carries divine vision. Do not underestimate what your presence ignites. The moment you align with what heaven is doing, barriers break and blessings multiply. You will begin to notice opportunities unfolding naturally, people drawn to your light, and favor moving without effort. That is the proof of divine partnership. It attracts acceleration. Archangel Michael stands over this alignment, declaring that this is not the beginning of wealth, but the beginning of meaning. The fortune that once seemed separate now becomes sacred because of your agreement with purpose. Chosen one, remember, abundance without assignment fades, But abundance united with destiny multiplies eternally. You are not walking into luxury, you are walking into legacy. What heaven has joined will not just prosper your hands, it will heal the world through your obedience. Without you, his billions are dust. With you, they become destiny. That is the power of divine partnership, when two lives, forged in separate fires, merge to complete one heavenly design. Chosen one, you are not an addition to his story. You are the key that unlocks it. The wealth, the influence, the recognition, all of it was never the ending, but the preparation. The moment your light enters his world, purpose awakens inside his power. He will begin to see what gold could never show him, that true richness is not measured in possession, but in presence. You are the bridge between his resources and heaven's reason. Without you, his achievements remain earthbound. With you, they take on eternal weight. That is why your meeting is sacred. It's not the fusion of desire, but of destiny. God often hides the solutions to great kingdoms inside fragile vessels, and you, chosen one, are that vessel. Your faith completes his fortune. Your purity anchors his influence. Your discernment gives his empire direction. Together, you become the balance of heaven and earth, the fusion of abundance and anointing. Understand this. Heaven does not send its chosen to be trophies, it sends them to be transformers. You were never called to admire his strength, but to awaken his surrender. He may hold the crown of commerce, but you carry the crown of calling, and when the two touch, divine power flows like never before. This is why the enemy has fought your peace and tried to delay your recognition, because once you stand beside him, purpose and prosperity will unite, and nothing in hell can divide them. Archangel Michael declares that this union is not about romance, it's about reign. You are the spiritual counterpart to his earthly assignment. He holds the scepter of influence, you hold the sword of truth. Together, you establish balance where chaos reigned, light where greed ruled, justice where pride built walls. Without you, his empire is temporary. With you, it becomes timeless. Chosen one, your presence is not decoration, it is activation. Heaven has entrusted you to awaken what the world thought could never be redeemed. Power made holy, wealth made worship, and love made eternal. The countdown is over, chosen one. What heaven wrote long ago is no longer waiting, it is being released. The inheritance that was stored away for the appointed time is now unfolding before your eyes. Every delay that once frustrated you was heaven's way of perfecting alignment. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every lonely night was a hidden rehearsal for this very hour. You are not walking into chance, you are walking into fulfillment. The promises you once whispered in tears are now echoing in reality. The divine clock has struck. Heaven is moving pieces that no human could move. The same forces that guided Ruth to Boaz's field, the same wind that carried Joseph from prison to palace, are now at work on your behalf. This is not imagination, it is divine orchestration. The inheritance is not only wealth or influence, it is everything heaven owes your obedience: restoration, peace, joy, clarity, and divine authority. The one who carries the resources has been summoned, the one who carries the revelation has been revealed. Together you step into the season of completion. Do you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere, the quiet trembling of your spirit. That is heaven announcing that what was sealed has now been opened. The world may not understand it, but it will witness it. For when God releases destiny, even creation responds. Favor begins to move faster. Conversations change. Doors you thought were locked swing open without effort. And the same people who overlooked you will watch in awe as heaven crowns you before their eyes. Archangel Michael watches over this release. He guards it, ensuring that no interference or deceit can tamper with what heaven has ordained. The angelic realm moves with precision, securing every step of your unfolding. What once seemed distant is now tangible. The inheritance is not an object, it is a flow of divine energy, transferring authority and abundance into the hands of those who were faithful through obscurity. Chosen one, you are entering a time where faith turns to sight. You will no longer pray for what you already carry, you will walk in it. The waiting season is finished, and the fulfillment season has begun. Do not shrink back out of fear or doubt. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. The countdown is complete, the seal is broken, and the kingdom alignment is active. What heaven joins, no man can undo. Step forward now, for destiny has been released, and it bears your name. You are the crown that completes his story. Every kingdom, no matter how vast, remains unfinished until its rightful counterpart stands beside it. Chosen one, you are that completion, the living proof that heaven never creates in halves. His success may have impressed the world, but heaven waited for you before calling it whole. You are not merely part of his life, you are the fulfillment of his divine equation. When your paths converge, something eternal activates. A partnership not of convenience, but of covenant. He wears a crown of influence, yet it is your spirit that sanctifies it. Without your presence, his power is directionless. With you, it becomes destiny. You bring discernment to his decisions, balance to his strength, and compassion to his authority. That is why heaven calls this union a coronation, not a coincidence. It is the moment when heaven's order is restored, when wealth kneels to wisdom, and ambition bows before purpose. In your unity, heaven rejoices. For when two souls align under divine purpose, their union becomes a portal through which God releases new grace upon the earth. Together you will not only rule but redeem. The way you love will heal, the way you lead will inspire, and the way you live will reflect heaven's government on earth. This is more than companionship, it is co-reign. Archangel Michael stands as witness, his wings stretched in blessing. Heaven crowns what heaven calls, he declares. And this is the hour of coronation. The invisible realm recognizes your authority. Creation itself will respond to your unity. Doors that were closed to others will open for you because your purpose is no longer individual, it is royal. What you touch will prosper, not because of luck, but because heaven's seal is upon your union. Chosen one, do not shrink from this mantle. You were never meant to hide your light in the shadows of humility, misunderstood. Royalty is not arrogance, it is responsibility. You have been entrusted with influence, not for comfort, but for impact. The same anointing that lifted Esther to the throne rests upon you now, and just as she used her position to deliver her people, you will use yours to release blessings that ripple far beyond your reach. You are not merely wearing a crown, you are becoming one. You are heaven's signature of completion, the embodiment of purpose fulfilled. And as you stand beside him, remember, his throne may be of gold, but yours is of grace. Together, you reign not over men, but over meaning. After the thunder of revelation comes a silence unlike any other, a silence not of emptiness, but of arrival. Heaven quiets itself when divine prophecy fulfills its purpose. Chosen one, this is that silence. The air feels still, the world seems softer, and even time appears to hold its breath, because the heavenly scroll that carried your name has now been read aloud in eternity. You no longer chase after signs, you are the sign. You no longer wait for confirmation, you are the confirmation. The alignment is complete, and heaven bears witness through peace. This peace does not shout, it does not demand attention. It rests gently, yet carries the weight of 1,000 promises. You will begin to notice it in small moments, morning light that feels holy, conversations that no longer drain you, the way fear suddenly has no language to speak to you anymore. That is the evidence of divine completion. When heaven finishes its work, it leaves behind serenity as proof. This stillness is sacred. It is the calm that comes when angels stop fighting because victory has already been secured. Archangel Michael stands in that quiet, his sword no longer drawn but lowered in reverence. His mission is accomplished. The battle for alignment, clarity, and recognition is over. Now heaven watches in holy silence as you step into a new rhythm, not of striving, but of reigning. The struggle to understand has transformed into the peace of knowing. You don't have to prove anything anymore. Your existence is the proof. The very atmosphere around you begins to shift because heaven recognizes its own reflection in your life. You may wonder why it feels so still, so weightless, as if the world has exhaled. That's because it has. The tension of waiting is gone. The noise of doubt has been dismissed. What remains is the presence of glory, the subtle, quiet kind that fills every space without announcing itself. You have entered a dimension of divine rest. Here, prayers are no longer cries for help, but whispers of gratitude. Here, you don't chase blessings. Blessings follow you naturally, drawn to the frequency of your obedience. This silence is not an ending, it's a threshold. It is heaven's pause between completion and commission. The same God who orchestrated your meeting now prepares to expand your influence. The same angels who fought beside you now surround you in rest. What was once resistance now becomes ease. You stand at peace not because the war never existed, but because victory has been declared. Chosen one, breathe in this stillness. It is heaven's way of saying, well done. You endured, you believed, you stayed faithful when nothing made sense, and now creation itself honors your endurance. Let this silence wash over you, cleanse you, and crown you. For this is not the silence of absence, it is the silence of glory. The heavens are no longer shouting because they are listening, watching as destiny finally stands in full bloom within you. Father in heaven, we stand in awe of your timing, your wisdom, and your mercy. Every delay, every detour, every unanswered prayer was not punishment but preparation. You were never late, you were perfect. Chosen one, this is the hour to bow your heart, to return your gratitude to the one who wrote your name in light before the world began. Close your eyes and breathe in his presence. This is holy ground. The story that began in waiting now ends in worship. God, you are the author of alignment, the keeper of covenants, the giver of peace that surpasses all understanding. We thank you for the divine orchestration that has unfolded, for the unseen angels who fought when we were weary, for the silence that proved your victory, for the love that revealed your glory. Every moment that felt lost is now redeemed by your hand. Every tear has watered the soil of this harvest. You turn emptiness into fullness, loneliness into partnership, and searching into finding. You, Lord, have taken what the enemy meant for harm and used it to build endurance in the hearts of the chosen. And now, Father, we pray for strength, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that endures with grace. Let the one who reads these words walk in humility even while crowned with favor. Protect their hearts from pride, their minds from confusion, and their souls from distraction. Let their union, their purpose, and their abundance remain under your authority. May everything they touch carry your fingerprint. May every decision echo your wisdom. When the world sees their success, let it point not to their power, but to your presence. Lord, teach us to steward blessing as service, to use wealth as a weapon of compassion, to lead with love rather than control. Remind the chosen one that the crown is not an ornament but a calling. The purpose of power is peace. The reason for the abundance is assignment. Every resource you have placed in their care is a seed meant to feed others. Give them eyes to see beyond themselves, hearts to give freely, and faith to walk boldly in what you have promised. And so we seal this prayer under heaven's authority. Archangel Michael stands as witness. Angels of light surround this covenant. We declare that no darkness can steal what has been decreed, no deceit can alter what has been written, no fear can silence what has been fulfilled. Let this life, this love, this alignment bring glory to you, God, forever. Chosen one, you are seen, you are called, you are protected. Heaven rejoices not because you have gained much, but because you have become what you were created to be, a vessel of divine purpose, a reflection of eternal love. Amen.